A heavy silence descended upon the throne room, broken only by the rasp of their ragged breaths. Kale's eyes, dark with desire, remained locked on Elara's, a silent question hanging in the air. With a deliberate movement, he reached for the clasp of his tunic, the golden fabric parting to reveal a broad chest, lightly dusted with golden hair. Elara's gaze followed his movements, her heart pounding a primal rhythm against her ribs. Her fingers itched to trace the lines of his muscles, to feel the warmth of his skin beneath her touch. His eyes held hers, an invitation and a challenge, daring her to make the next move. With a defiant tilt of her chin, Elara reached for the hem of her own tunic, her fingers trembling slightly. The rough fabric gave way, pooling around her waist, revealing the tanned skin of her torso, marked with the scars of a warrior's life. Her breasts, full and firm, rose and fell with each breath, their tips hardening in the cool air. Kale's gaze darkened, his pupils dilating as he took in the sight of her. He stepped closer, the heat of his body a palpable force as he reached out and cupped her breast, his thumb brushing over the hardened peak. A gasp escaped her lips, her fingers tightening in his hair as a wave of pleasure washed over her. Their bodies met, skin against skin, a symphony of heat and desire. The chains that bound her wrists became a sensual tether, their cold metal a stark contrast to the warmth of their entwined bodies. The air crackled with unspoken desire as Kale and Elara stood locked in an embrace, their bodies a testament to the raw passion that had ignited between them. The chains that bound her wrists, once a symbol of her captivity, now seemed to bind them together in a shared moment of forbidden intimacy. Kale's gaze flickered to the guards standing at attention, their faces carefully blank, but their eyes wide with surprise and curiosity. A low growl rumbled in his chest, a warning to anyone who dared to interrupt their moment. "Leave us," he commanded, his voice a low, dangerous purr. "Now." The guards hesitated, their eyes darting between the Emperor and their captive. But there was no mistaking the authority in Kale's voice, the barely restrained power that radiated from his form. With a final, hesitant glance at the pair, they turned and filed out of the throne room, their armor clinking softly against the marble floor. The heavy doors swung shut behind them, leaving Kale and Elara alone in the echoing chamber. The silence that followed was thick with anticipation, charged with the unspoken desires that simmered just beneath the surface.